Social media logins are very popular, very easy too. You can go for Google login just with one click. You can go for Facebook login. For working with Google login with just one click, I have already made a video on it. Please check that out. Today's video is about Facebook login. I'm going to show you how to exactly work with Facebook login, and with just one click, you can get your Facebook profile in your system and you can start working directly. So let's implement that out with a cool plugin that I'm going to show you today. So watch this video till the end to understand everything step by step and implement it up in your next project. So let's get started. Now in this video, we are going to go for the Facebook login, and to use the Facebook login, I'm going to use the plugins which are provided by Capawesome. It is free of course and you can easily use that up. Now let's go to capawesome.io. That is the first step which we need to take. And here you need to go to developers, then documentation, and the documentation will open up. After that, you have to go to SDK. Let me just show you step by step. So if I click on documentation, it is opened up. Let's go to SDK and Capacitor plugins we are going to use. So if you just scroll down, you are going to find Facebook login. Okay. Once you get inside it, this is the plugin that we are going to use. All right. And if you don't know about Capawesome, it provides lots of Capacitor plugins and it has paid plans also. You can simply check it here, the insider. If you become a Capawesome insider, you can get all these plugins with all 24/7 support. I think they provide it, and which is quite awesome. And these are premium plugins. Now they have lots of plans which are available for Capawesome insiders. If you become that, for that there are pricing available. For the starter plan, you can get to $19, $49 for professionals, for a team, $149, and for businesses, $499. And it's worth if you are using absolutely everything. And there is a cloud option also that is available. Not only the plugins, you can launch your application directly from cloud itself, and I have made videos on that, how to build it, how to deploy it. All those things are being shown, so just check everything. From my personal experience, I'm saying it's quite good. Anyways, let's get back to our Facebook login. Now in the Facebook login, what we have to do is it supports Android, iOS, and web. That's great. Now for Android, iOS, and web, what exactly we have to do to actually work with the Facebook login? Well, first of all, either you can use skills nowadays with AI, and you can use all the skills and install everything very easily. But let's go for the manual installation. So I'll just copy it up, and I have already created the Ionic application because that is what we are going to use. We are going to use Ionic Capacitor. So I'm going to open up capacitor.config.js file. TS file, sorry, not JS. This is my configuration for the app ID. For understanding how to actually go for the Ionic CLI installation and everything, I have shown you many a times. You can watch my previous video also, but if you want to install Ionic CLI, you have to search for Ionic CLI npm, and it will show you how to install the Ionic CLI, then how to go ahead and set up everything. You have to run Ionic start and the process will come up. Just select Angular, Capacitor will be selected by default, and that's how you go ahead and start a new project. Okay, that's what you got to do. All right, so moving ahead, since these things I am quite sure you know, and if you do not know, you can check my previous videos. Everywhere I have shown how to build up Ionic application. Okay, so in this Ionic application, what have I done? Well, I have done the prerequisite part. What is that? Well, I have changed the package name first of all, and I have prepared the homepage also, the designing. Let me just show you that. So Ionic serve, and it's gonna open up. Very simple design. If you do not even go for this design also, still it's fine. Look at it. A simple design with a logo that is being used. So if I go to homepage, this is the thing which is being done. Okay. Just go through each and everything because it's quite simple design. Nothing much is being done here. I'll just do one thing. I'll change the mode of it to be iOS, because what happens in Android device, if you don't pass iOS mode, then this logo will this Facebook login will come towards it, or possibly that can happen because we are using everything within the Ion card and the placement matters a lot. Okay, that is why. Anyways, not a problem. We are using multiple functionalities, and for installing the plugin, since I have already installed, I'm not going to go for that. But in order to install the plugin, you can simply install it directly here in this particular manner. Okay. Once this installation is done, what you got to do? Let me show you the next step. So the next step after installation is to run this command, but don't run it up until and unless you have Android and iOS platforms. So I would suggest you get this particular design. Okay, I'll be sharing the source code so you can just download it from the description. It's pretty easy for you to actually set up everything as a prerequisite. Okay, so simple design is being made, and I have also added the Android and iOS platform. I'm going to show you each and every step. Don't need to worry about anything. So Android and iOS, how to edit up? Well, you simply know about it. You first have to run Ionic build, okay, to get the www folder in your web assets. And then once that is done, you have to run the command ionic cap add iOS, and this will build for iOS, and for Android just pass Android, and that will be done. Okay, complete Android, not AND. All right. So once the platforms are added, you have to set up the platforms. How? For Android, you have to go to variables.gradle file and pass this variable. So I have copied it and I'll search for variables.gradle, and here see I have passed Facebook login version, and the version is 18.3.0 that is being passed here. Whichever version is being passed here, simply pass it up. That's it. After that, you have to go to resources. Where is it? You have to go to strings.xml file that is in Android. So I'll search for strings. Look at that, strings.xml file. There we go. You have to just type the command command plus P for Mac and control plus P for Windows. Okay, that's how you get this search one. Now, after doing that, look at that. What have I passed? I have passed the Facebook app ID and Facebook client token. Now, how to generate this up? That's the biggest question, right? To generate it up, we have to go for our Facebook app. We have to create a Facebook app. For this is the link. Now, let me open the link. It's gonna take me to developers.facebook.com. So you need to have a Facebook account at first, and then you can redirect here. Now you have to verify your business also in order to run this up. I have already created one application for this particular login, but I'll show you once again since you need to understand each and everything properly. So let's go for creating an application. I'll call it Smart FB Login. Okay, don't pass FB Login, or because FB it will understand and it won't allow you to do so. That is why. And yeah, contact number, contact. Okay, term like FB are not allowed. Look at it. It's showing that. So what I'll say is smart social login. Okay, now let's check it out. There we go. We entered the application. Now here, what I have to do is create and manage ads with marketing. No, we just want to go for the authentication and request data from users with Facebook login. Tick that and go ahead. Now I have to select the businesses. Okay. Now I have a business verification complete. So one business is verified. That is why I'm going to select that. If the business is not verified, you can simply go ahead with any other business, or I don't want to connect a business portfolio. Okay, then you have to create one business portfolio and connect it up. I'm not going to show you the business portfolio because you have to provide your authentication. For example, let's say you have a business, so you have to pass some taxation details or some other details, government identity proof and all other stuff which you have to go for that to actually verify it up. Once it is verified, you can go ahead with it. So I'm going to select this thing, and if your business is not verified, you have to like go through each and every process to it's gonna take you there. Okay, don't need to worry about it. And without verification also, I think still you can work with it. I have worked with it earlier, possibly I can't recall, but it still works. Okay, now I have done everything. Okay, review, create app, fine. Now the app is created. I have to pass the password. So I'm going to pass the Facebook password here. Now it's gonna go ahead and it will be done. All right, your app is created, but still job is not done. Why? See, I have to fill up all these things. Now here, business verification, like I told you earlier also, if your business is not verified, this tick will not come, and you have to get inside the business verification to actually do that up. And here, look at it. It's being verified. If not verified, then definitely you'll get the steps to verify it up, and you just have to follow the steps. That's the only thing which you need to do. I'll get back and I'll start with the other things. Like, let me just show you. Well, I'm into the dashboard once again of this application, Smart Social Login. I will get to the first one at first. Now it's going to ask me about what all things I want to fetch. Okay, so I have to provide that. Now, for example, email. The email permission allows your app to read a person's primary email address. So definitely we want to read the email address. That is why it is very much important for signing up. And that's why I'm going to add it up. Public profile. Now, public profile will include name, some other Facebook ID and all other stuff. So it is already like added. Okay, you can take some actions like go for it, go to app review or something. You don't have to do anything else. Just this is done. Okay, once this is done, if you want something else, definitely you can add this up. Otherwise, you can simply skip it. All right. So I don't want anything else. I'm going to skip it and get to my earlier dashboard. Okay, so I'll click on my apps. Okay, I went to my apps, not exactly. I have to get to yeah, Smart Social Login. Okay, so look at that. We got the tick. Let's go to the second part where we have to do what? Let's check it out. Okay, authenticate and request data from users with Facebook login. That's what we need. And here we don't have to do anything. I just get inside. If I get back, it's gonna be done. I must see a tick mark. There we go. Business verification, I'm not going to show you because I don't have the steps because it's already been done, right? And I cannot verify another business to just to show you. So let's go ahead and go for app review now. These things, if you don't fill it up, you cannot go ahead and like go for the Facebook login properly. This is one time setup, you have to do it. And I'm showing you the minimal setup with the help of which we can go ahead and like publish our, not publish, but we can check our Facebook login part. But you have to do, you have to complete the entire steps to actually launch it or publish it. Otherwise that will not get published. Now here, email and public profile, that's what we need. I'll click on next. It is not submitted yet, of course. Now look at that. First of all, the verification is coming up. Meta requires verification process to help us understand who is creating apps on this platform. So this is a business verification probably, which is ticked in my case. So I'm not going to go ahead with it. Now app settings, I will go to app settings. Let's check it out. So in the app setting, you need to provide privacy policy. Now privacy policy, you can create a document, keep it in your Google Drive and share the link there. Public link, of course, you have to make it available for everyone. Just pass it on. That's how you can do it. I'll just pass on my website privacy policy. Okay, this is what I'm going to pass because this is just, we are doing it for testing. If you're actually doing that, then application privacy policy needs to be passed. Okay, remember that. Now, after that, if user wants to like remove their data from your platform, what you exactly got to do. So here, you have to provide the URL, if there is any callback URL for deleting, or like what is the process behind that. You have to just pass it up. For the timing, I'll just leave it as it is. And the category, okay, is important to understand the use case of your application. So why am I building this application? Currently, I'm just building this application for showing you how exactly it needs to be done. Currently, I'm just going to select education, but if you're going for businesses, select businesses. If you're going for educational purpose thing, definitely select education. You have to select the proper category. Don't mess up with this category. Otherwise, it's going to lead you to some trouble. Okay. For the time being, since this is just for testing purpose, so I'm just selecting education here. And if I click on next, whether it will allow me, no, I have to provide a domain here. So what am I going to do? Now let's see what I did earlier. So let me open up this application and look at this. These two were not completed. Still it was done. This is my earlier application, right? Now where were we? We were in the app review. Now let's hit on next. Now these things are verified. Now here, what exactly happened is, let me just show you. I got this URL directly, facebook.com. So I just passed it up. All right, I'll do the same thing here also. We just need to get ahead with it, but actually you need to pass a proper URL, which will show the user where exactly you are going to delete and where exactly it's going to redirect, something like that. You have to do it. Okay. Because nowadays the data deletion is also very much important for the users. They need to understand how exactly that can be done. And that is why this thing is very, very important, which is a good thing actually. Now let's move ahead. For the timing, just I'm giving a dummy one. I'm just saying again and again, don't provide it in applications which you're going to publish. Okay, let's move ahead. For the time being, okay, I have to provide app icon. That is why I was getting the error. Now this is very, very important. If you don't provide the app icon, again, it's not gonna be going ahead. And if you don't pass it up, definitely you will get errors. Something like this, that the given URL is not allowed by the application, because you have to go to app settings and like do some of this stuff. Okay, then the second error can be, this is the kind of warning you will be getting as of now also, because we have not published it, right? So that is what we are going to see after we complete it up. So you have to submit for login review, but we are just going to check and continue with our login, because we are not going to publish it for the time being, right? Now, since you have seen the demo, actually I also generated an icon, and I'm going to provide that icon so that you can also go ahead with it. I'm going to edit the icon, and I have to drag and drop. Let me just select it up. Now this is the icon which I have passed in my project, and I'm going to use that up. All right. So the size is also proper, and I'm going to save it. Just a dummy icon which I have prepared with the help of AI very quickly. And this is done now. I'll click on next. And once this is saved, we are actually saved. We can go ahead and work with it. Okay. Now there are a lot of things which you have to fill up. And if you're going for submission, definitely you have to fill up everything and get everything ready. Okay. Now in our case, I'm just going to show you the next step, because the warnings which I showed you, that will be coming up. Well, in order to fulfill, I mean, in order to get rid of that, definitely you have to go through each and everything, and it's a huge form that you need to fill up. For the time being, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and work with the other functionality. Now here, how do I get the app ID and everything? So I have to go to app settings here and go to basics. Okay. In the basic, I'll get my app ID. I'm going to select that up and pass it on. Pass it on where? I'll show you. But first of all, you need to copy your app ID. Along with that, go to advanced, scroll towards the bottom, and you get your client token. So these two things are very, very important. Copy it and keep it up. Don't copy mine. Now, once you copy these two, what exactly you need to do and where exactly you need to pass. Now, this thing we copied, right, in our strings.xml. Now, if you check it here, in the strings.xml, I have passed my Facebook ID, app ID, and the client token. The next thing which you need to work on is Android manifest.xml file. You got to pass this to in your android.manifest. So let's get back and I'm going to search for manifest and I'll get the first link and I'll get inside it. Now here, look at that within the application. Let me just minimize it. Within the application, if I just scroll down towards the bottom, I have passed this to. Okay, as simple as that. So once this is done, what's the next step we need to go ahead with? Well, if I just scroll down in iOS, I need to pass all of it in info.plist file. So let's go to info.plist file. Info.plist, since you have already added Android and iOS platform, that is why I'm going to show you each and every step. Now here, just check this out. I'm passing my Facebook ID. You have to pass your own Facebook ID, then the client token, then display name. I am given any name here. Okay, you can pass your application name, proper application name. Now once this is done, the next thing is in info.plist, you have to pass another thing called this particular one for the also needed to add the URL scheme for your Facebook app ID. So just follow the same. Now if I just scroll down a bit after the things which we have pasted, below that I have pasted another one with the Facebook ID once again. So after this is being done, okay, I have replaced this with my Facebook ID. That's it. But remember, your Facebook ID should be attached with FB also. Okay, FB, then your app ID. So don't miss FB. For any confusion, read this up properly. Now for the uses in the home page TS file, what exactly is being done? See, we just have one button here. If I click on this button, it should go for directly Facebook sign in. All right, that's what we got to do. Now, in order to set this up in my homepage.ts file, what exactly it's being done, I'm not going to explain you the UI. It's pretty simple. And if you want, you can just take it from the source code. But TS file functionality, a little bit, I'm going to explain you up. So I've just created an interface here. All right, that I'm going to use for user profile, name, email, photo, URL, and user ID. Also, I'm going to fetch it for the Facebook user ID. Okay. Then what is being done? I'm using signals everywhere. Now it is official and I will be using it pretty nicely with Angular version 22 and latest. Okay, so this is my storage key. Okay, fine. It's being used here. Now let me just optimize it a bit. So in ng on init, I'm calling two functions. One is for initialize plugin, other one is for check current session. What will initialize plugin do? It's going to call the Facebook sign-in initialize functionality that is being shown here. If you just check it out, this is the first function that is being called where we are passing the app ID. Now I'm going to pass the app ID not like that in the environment dot Facebook dot app ID. Okay, because I have kept in the environment my Facebook ID. All right, in both the environments for the production and for the development. In both of them, in this particular manner, I have passed the Facebook ID. Okay, that is what is required. Now, once that is done, I'm directly calling it up here. That's it. And remember, if you're calling this environment, don't call it from production, call it from the other file. All right, that is what it is being done at the top. If you just check it out where it is, there we go. Okay, it's being called from production. No, I don't want it from production. And now it's fine. Great. Let's move ahead to the next part. Now, everything is being done within try-catch block so that if you get any error, it will be caught properly and you can show it to the user. Like here, there is some error for the Facebook login. You're just logging that up in the console.error. So it's going to show you in the console, nowhere else. If you want to show it to the user, definitely you can use the toast message. You can use IronToast to actually work with it. But for the timing, I don't want to show it. Next thing is check current session. Now, what is this functionality? Let's check it out. Signing in a user. So for signing in a user, we have to call this particular functionality called Facebook signin function. Now here, I'm calling that same function, but everything will be done within try-catch block so that we can catch the actual errors. That is very, very important. Now I'm keeping a state for is loading just to show that whenever I click on it, loader will come up and the UI will change later on. Okay, that's how it's going to be, which you have already seen when I showed you the demo part. So now this is set up. So the loader will start running as soon as I click on this particular, no, as soon as we enter this particular page. Okay, I mean to say the application, because this is the first page of the application. So as soon as you enter the application, it's going to start the loader and try to fetch the current access token, whether you're logged in at present or not. That is the important. That is why this is being used. Okay, so Facebook sign in dot get current access token. All right, so that will be done. And if you have some access token, that means you are logged in. So if you are logged in, your data will be in the local storage for the timing. You can use preferences here. That would be better, I think. So let me install preferences. That would be better. Now to change it up, well, I can directly do that, or I can use the help. I can take the help of AI. So currently I'm taking the help of AI. I'm using anti-gravity actually to work on it and make it happen. So that is what it is being done here. I asked to change your local storage with preference, and it is doing that up. But I don't prefer to use AI for each and everything, since I wanted to show you quickly. That is why I did that, and it has already started changing. So preferences is imported and installed also. If you check it in the package.json file, you might not see the package.json file because it is hiding behind me. But at least you can just check the packages which is being installed. Look at that, preferences is installed, and this is the latest version as of now. In your case, if some version changes, definitely you will get all the latest version. Now here, what is being done? Let's check it out. Where were we? Okay, the storage key was same, and yeah, in the current check current session, if we have the token, it will be fetched from the preferences. Okay, in local, if you're using it in web, it's gonna be the local storage only. So that particular key will be passed, and the data will be tried to fetch. If we get some data out of it, okay, because whatever value we are going to get, we are going to name it as cached. That is how it is being done. So if we have some value in the cache, definitely we are going to get that value and set our profile data. I mean to say user profile data, which is a signal function that we have already passed in here, okay, as a readme. Okay, but since it is a writable function, so it should not be readme only. Let's remove that. Okay, now it's fine. All right, where were we? Okay, fine. So I'm setting the user profile data in this particular signal function. Once that is done, if there is any error, I'm going to set the user profile to the created default profile. So there is another thing called created default profile, where I'm setting some default stuff. Okay. Now where is it? Let me just check it out. Create default, and I just click on it. So look at that. It's going to return Facebook user, connect via Facebook. Okay, that's going to be the email. And in photo you won't see anything, and in user ID it will be NA, not applicable. So that's the stuff. If you want to change it, definitely you can, or if you want to pass it at top as a signal function or as directly a property, definitely you can do that up too. Okay, because it's not going to change. Anyways, let's move ahead. Let's move ahead to which particular part. Okay, so session we have checked. You have understood the session part. If you're already logged in, then it's going to fetch the data and show you on the screen. If you're not logged in, then it's going to do something else. What that's gonna be, let's check it out in the else condition. In the else condition, if you're not logged in, it's going to set the default values here. Why? Because if you do not have any cache data, but you are logged in, that is important. Okay, because you have the access token. If you have the access token, you're logged in. So if you do not have the data in your local storage or in your preferences, then definitely it's going to set the default profile. Okay, that we already saw. But if you're not logged in, if you do not have any access token available, any session that is available, then it's going to set is logged in to false. Otherwise, this will be set to true. Either you are having some cache data or not, doesn't matter. Logged in will be set to true. Now with is logged in, what exactly we are doing here? We are checking. Look at that. We are checking some conditions. That's the only thing. You understood the point that why we are checking this up? Because we need to show different design, right? If you are logged in, then we will show you the user data. Otherwise, if you're not logged in, we are going to show you the sign up part. That's the thing which is being done here. And that's why we need these signal functions. All right. And if there is any error that you are caught, then definitely you're not logged in for sure. And finally, the loader will also stop. If you click on the continue with Facebook, or what is the name? Yeah, continue with Facebook. If you click on that, what's going to be happening? That is a functionality we have in Facebook login. So here also the loader will start as soon as you click on that. And then what will happen? We're going to go for Facebook sign in functionality that we already saw in this particular plugin. This is the plugin that we are going to use. All right. So we are going to fetch the result out of it, and there within that we have other options too. If you check it here, you are not finding it out, right? But look at this particular part. Facebook sign in with limited login. Okay, sign in with limited login, where you're going for limited login to true, nonce, no, your nonce. Okay, fine. You will have all other options too. Let me just show you. If I just scroll down, I'll find it out. Look at that. This is sign in, and I'll get the sign in options. I'll just click on the sign in options. I think I have to click this one. Yeah. If I click on it, I get limited log, nonce, and permissions. All right. So these three things I'm going to use. Actually, I can use. Now, what does it mean? Whether or not to use limited login instead of classic login. With limited login, no access token is returned. So we won't get any access token. Instead, JWT is returned that can be verified on your backend, only available on iOS. So if you go for this particular part, okay, I mean to say if you go for true, then definitely that will work only on iOS, not for Android. So we need to go for false. That means the default value is false, so we don't need to pass it at all. Okay, if you are going for both of them. Then for nonce, nonce is to provide, okay, is to prevent replay attacks included in the authentication token and can be verified on the backend, only available on iOS. Again, the same thing. Now permissions, that is what we have passed, right? I'm passing the permission called public profile and email because that is what we are fetching from the Facebook, and that is what it is being passed here. So you have to pass public profile and email. That's a default value. If you don't pass it also, it will be taken. And if you need to pass any other permission, definitely you can add those things also. So this thing I hope you have understood, and nothing much to explain here, right? That is what we have done. Now, once you get the result out of it, you are going to check obviously that if there is something in the result or not. If there is something, then what we are going to do? We are going to prepare a constant called profile that will hold our profile data. That's the interface which we have created at the top. Let me just show you. Look at that. This is the interface from the same plugin itself. Okay, in this profile interface that is by default available, we are going to fetch the profile from the result. That is what we are going to do. And then once we get the data out of it, we are going to set our name, email, image URL. So these are the variables that are available. Okay, you need to check that out. And then you get the access token also. See, if you have the profile ID, you will get that. Otherwise, you can fetch the access token. And from there on, you can also pass the user ID. If both of them are not available, then you are simply going to set an empty value. Now, how you're going to check this out, whether this profile interface is proper or not. So we will find something here. Let me just check it out. Look at that. This is the profile data that I will say interface where we have email, ID, image URL, and name. These four things will be there. Result.access token, we are going to fetch the access token out of it from the result and get the user ID out of it. So that is what you can play around with it. Okay. If that doesn't work, and if you want, you can simply log the value of result also here. Let me just log that. There we go. Okay. So that is being done, and once we get the data out of it, we will set it up in user profile signal function that we have. Now, once that is set, we are also going to save it in our preferences, okay, against the same storage key. And is logged in will be set to true because now we are logged in and we have to set the value in that particular manner of the signal function so that the conditions will change and we will see the different design. Once that is done, at the very end, I'm going to set up the is loading to false so that the UI will be seen and the loader will go away. Fine. So this is the only thing which we have done. Apart from that, we have the logout functionality where Facebook sign out functionality will be used. That's it, nothing else. And in the catch functionality, well, what we are doing, we are just logging the error. And if, I mean to say, after you go through these steps, what we are doing is we are clearing up our preferences, because if you're logged out, there should not be anything in the preferences. Is logged in will be set to false, and user profile will also be set to default, which means the null values, okay, empty values everywhere. And setting is loading also to be false because is loading was initiated when you clicked on that particular button of logged out. Fine. So this is the only functionality which we have done. And if you want to clear photo URL, which is a functionality where it is being used, I just forgot somewhere it is being used over. Yeah. All right. So we have it here. We have it here on error. It is going to clear the profile photo URL. So that is what it's going to do and update the signal function of user profile. Okay. To empty if it is not available. And this is the default one, which I have already explained. So this is the entire functionality, which is pretty simple to use. So everything is set up. We have set up for Android, iOS, web. We don't have to do anything. We have prepared all the functionality properly. It's time to check it out. Now to check out, I'll first of all check in the web whether it works or not. So let me just click on continue with Facebook. Now in this plugin, if you go for web login, okay, via Facebook, it's not going to work properly. First of all, it's going to give you an error here. If I try to go for login, which will be for Facebook status, because we are running on HTTP and this is localhost. So it's not going to show for Facebook login directly. Okay, I'll be getting some error because I've patched it, because I have made some patch fixes in our application. Don't need to show that. You will see it in the source code later on, which is mainly this is native platform. I'm just checking it up. If it is native, then only I'm going to go ahead. Otherwise, I'm not going to go ahead, because since we are working in localhost, so it's not going to work properly. But in order to work with Android and iOS also, there is one more thing which we need to do, and I'm going to show you right now in the developers one, because the functionality and everything now you have understood. So it's time for you to understand a little bit more about how to deal with the applications here. Now, where exactly I need to go? Not in app preview, I have to go to app settings and to basic. Now in the basic, if I just scroll towards the bottom, I'll see to add platforms. Now here I have to add the platforms. Okay, I'm going to add the platform for Android, iOS and web. Okay, but web, it's not going to work in localhost probably. I've already tested it earlier. So it's not going to work in localhost. So you have to launch it up somewhere to get the HTTPS. In the HTTPS also, I can get it in localhost also by using Ionic serve space hyphen SSL. But that will also not work with localhost. So that is one of the things. But let's move ahead with this. And Android stores, I'm going to select Play Store for now, Google Play Store. Let's move ahead. Next. All right, so platforms are added. You can try it out by adding this localhost here, HTTPS along with it. Okay, for the iOS bundle, I see bundle is what? Well, I have to go to capacitor.config.ts file. This is our app bundle, right? Let me just pass the bundle ID. Done, select it up. Then what we have to do is we have to, for the Android also, well, in-app purchases, we are not using it up, so I can disable it. All right. If you're using some in-app purchases, definitely you can pass it up. Now, package name is the same. I'm going to pass the package name, and the class will be, it will be com.technyks.smfblogin.main activity. Why is that so? Well, if I just scroll towards the top, see Android, within the app, we have main. Okay, let me minimize it up. So if I get inside Java, see com.technyks.fb login, that is our package name, right? Then we have the main activity.java. So we don't have to pass .java till main activity. That is our class name. That's what we have to provide here. Okay. Don't worry about this error. It's going to go away. Now key hash, we have to pass the hash key. Now how to generate it up? Well, in order to generate it, you have to run a command. Let me just show you that particular command. I have it in readme file. In the readme file, if you just scroll down, you will find a command. This is the one. Key tool, you have to run this up. When you run this up, a key store will be generated. So let me just run this up. I'm going to directly run it here. In this manner, you can change the location and everything if you want to. So let me run it. Once you run this up, you will get this key. Okay, this is the hash key for your application for Android. Once I've copied it, I'm going to pass it here. Okay, in this manner. Select it up. That's it. So this is done. For Android, nothing else needs to be passed, right? And for iOS also, we don't need to pass anything. Everything is good to go. For web, well, I'm passing 8100 as the localhost, but I'm sure it's not going to work as of now. So what else I need to do here is app domain. Well, for the timing, I will pass localhost. Mainly our target is Android and iOS, so I'm going to show you that particular part. Okay. All right, the setup is done. Nothing else to do here, probably. I think I have covered up everything. Let me hit on save. And once I clicked on save, what happened? Now look at this. I have passed privacy policy link here also in for the terms of service also to get rid of the error. All right. Once I do that up and nothing else is being done, everything is the same. So I'm going to save it right now. And once I click on that, everything will be saved. There we go. So saved completely. Now what you have to do, we have to check each and everything for Android and iOS to actually run and test it up whether everything works fine or not. So let me go for Ionic Cap open iOS. Let me hit enter and see whether everything works fine there or not. Okay, so here I have already selected my personal team for signing capabilities. You can create one for free. Okay, now I'm selecting iPhone 14 Pro Max as my simulator and I'm going to hit run to install the application there and check it out whether everything works fine or not. It says build failed. Why? Why do I get build failed? There is no XC framework found. Okay, what's wrong here? Let me just sync everything first. I think something is wrong. Ionic cap sync. Okay, fine. Syncing is done. Maybe the error might go away, but I feel there is still errors here. Why is it so? Missing package product. It should not happen. Let's check it out. Because in our code, we do not have any error. All right, I clicked on the build again. This time it should build it up. I should not find any error. Let's check it out. All right, build succeeded. Look at it. Now let me go for sign in with Facebook and click on continue. My profile is already there. I'll hit on continue and we got the information. See, my profile picture is coming up, name is coming up, email address is coming up along with the Facebook ID too. I think so. So every information is being shown here, right? I can sign out and go for login once again. And in fact, if I close the application and open it up again, then also it's gonna work. Let me just show you. Just see, I'll close the application and we'll open up again. Look at that. All the information is saved. Well, next is to run on Android. So let's go for that. And I have made slight changes here, okay, just to run it properly because there are some issues that might occur. So I'm just using promise here to be on the safe side that if there is any error as such for Facebook sign in, then I'll get the error being caught and I'm going to throw that error. Okay. Otherwise, it's gonna go ahead with it. The rest of the stuff is the same. Okay. So just on the safe side, I'm using promise.raise functionality also. All right. That's it. Anyways, let's get back to Android. Where is it? Okay, this is the Android Studio. Let me run it in our emulator. So I'll just hit on the run button. Now let's go for the Facebook login where I've already run the application. Let me hit on continue and it's going to redirect me for the Facebook sign in. I'll go ahead with it and it's going to fetch the information for us. There we go. I got the email ID, name and profile picture, also the ID. Okay, so all the information is coming up in Android also and in iOS too. So this is how the application is working. So this is the entire code that we have prepared for actually executing this functionality of Facebook login. I removed some of the content which I showed you earlier, like the promise.raise functionality is removed because that was creating some errors because of which it was not working in Android. So I just fixed a bit. You will watch everything in the source code and obviously I'm scrolling towards the bottom so that you can see each and everything properly. So what I explained at the very beginning is the same stuff even now also, and it's working fine in Android and iOS both. Okay. So with this, we have successfully integrated the Facebook login functionality of Capawesome very smoothly in our Android and iOS devices. And in web also, it can work if you go for a proper URL, right? And if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that, because many of you are not subscribing to the channel. And please do subscribe, because with each subscription, I get the motivation to bring content all together very quickly. But if you don't do that, it impacts our morale. Well, I'm sure you're going to do that up. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up this lecture here. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to see you next time.